Hi, and welcome back to our channel, documenting our journey to financial freedom. This video will give a snapshot of our current financial situation, from our monthly expenses to our current financial assets. Our family of 4 lives on $278,000 a year. This averages out to a little over $23,000 per month before tax, and a little under $13,500 after tax and retirement contributions. We were lucky in 2020, and the pandemic did not significantly impact our income. Here is a breakdown of our expenses per month. It is an average over the June to November period this year. We do not budget, but we do track our spending. I'll go over the top 4 spend categories in our budget, which cover about 90% of our net income. Our largest category by far is childcare for our 2 children who are under 5. We spend on average over $4,600 a month for both kids. This is for their preschool, which runs from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It does not include holiday camps or aftercare, which were canceled with the onset of the COVID pandemic. We paid the full amount for the 2020-2021 school year upfront, and we are currently putting this amount aside for next year's childcare expenses. The Bay Area is a really expensive place to raise kids. Data from the childrenscouncil.org suggests that we are only paying about 7% more than the average cost in the area. We are hoping to see this cost center go down in the fall as our kids get older. The second largest category is our savings. This does not include our pre-tax retirement contributions. We save a little over $3,900 a month. We invest the bulk of this amount in index funds. This leaves $300 to add to our savings account. Our third largest category, perhaps unsurprisingly, is rent. We rent a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment for just under $3,000 a month. We moved just before the pandemic started, adding almost $1,000 to our rent. My husband and I debated a long time to figure out if the additional expense was the right step for us. Knowing that this new rent represents only 13% of our gross income, way below the 30% often mentioned in personal finance books, was certainly reassuring. But the most important factor, and really the deciding factor for us, was how this increased our overall happiness. Having a place where our kids could be as loud as they wanted and could run and play in the backyard really lowered our stress levels. With the pandemic setting in and kids needing to stay at home, this decision was, in hindsight, a really solid one, and one we are truly happy we made. If we look at our rent in the wider context of the Bay Area, what we are paying today is pretty close to the median rent for 2-bedroom apartments. San Francisco and other Bay Area cities are on the top 10 priciest U.S. rental markets. Interestingly, SFGate has reported that rents have dropped in the area by close to 25% from March to November. If this trend continues, maybe we can aim for a lower rent in 2021. Let's wait and see. The final category we'll dive a little deeper in is our groceries. We spend a little over $1,000 a month. We've actually reduced this amount by shopping only once per week and having a predefined list of items to purchase. We buy a lot of fresh produce, dairy, some seafood, and very rarely meat. We cook every meal at home and bake any dessert we want to enjoy as a family. Now, let's try to get some context for this spend category. The USDA publishes official food plans. Looking at data from November 2020 for a family of 4 with 2 kids under 5, exactly our situation, we can zoom on 2 spend levels, the moderate cost plan and the liberal plan. That's the highest plan they have. The moderate cost plan is at a little over $900, and the liberal plan is set at a little over $1,100. Our grocery spend falls right in between these 2 levels without adjusting for the higher cost of living in the Bay Area. With more time at home, we've also started making our own yogurt and our own bread. cutting the cost on these two recurring purchases and having a lot of fun doing that. The other categories of spending include car-related expenses and utilities. Our car is a Toyota Prius C. We bought it used in 2018 for about $15,000. At or below the 1% level for our expenses are also some home maintenance, travel expenses, phone bills, as well as money we donate to charities and money we spend on entertainment and education, as well as the occasional dining out. The last things I want to cover are the financial assets we own, from our cash reserve to our retirement funds to our investment portfolio. We have a little more than $121,000 in cash. This covers our emergency fund, our sinking funds for travel and childcare, as well as the start of a down payment for a future house. We then have a combined $173,000 in our retirement vehicles and $71,000 in our investment portfolios. The value of these has really been bolstered by the stock market performance over the past year. My husband and I are both in our early to mid-30s and are therefore a little behind on the amounts we have saved for retirement, although by Trans-America standards, we have saved more than the median American has. Looking at guidelines published by Fidelity, we should have 1 time our annual salary saved by the time we turn 30 and 2 times that same salary by our mid-30s. We are ramping up our contributions there, but are not panicking quite yet for 3 main reasons. 1, our salaries are really very high. A better measure, in our opinion, would be to use the US median salary. Number 2, we do not believe we would retire in such a high cost of living area. And number 3, we have not been in the US for all that long and had a very late start on funding our retirement accounts. Looking at the future, we should see some changes. The biggest to track are my husband's and my upcoming promotions and the corresponding salary raises, as well as the changes to child cost care starting probably September 2021. We also expect that as the pandemic hopefully recedes, we will be able to travel once again and visit our families. This will increase our budget, but will also increase our happiness. I hope you have enjoyed learning more about our financial background and spending patterns. Feel free to leave your comments below. I am curious to hear your thoughts about this video.